Hi, everyone. Welcome to class today. I'm so excited to see all you guys. If everyone can go ahead and put yourselves on mute for me and only take yourself off when you're trying to talk because a lot of background noise can be heard in the background. Today, we're going to be learning about comprehension. We're going to read a little Magic School Bus, and we're going to learn about some new vocabulary words. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. And can you guys give me a thumbs up when you can see it? Okay, perfect. Let's see. Okay. So if you guys remember from our last class, we learned about some reading strategies, which are when we're reading, we're supposed to be predicting, visualizing, connecting, questioning, clarifying, and evaluating. So Noelle, can you tell me why it's important to predict?
It's important to predict so you can maybe try to figure out what happens next in the story.
Yeah. And Monica, can you tell me why it's important to visualize?
To see what's happening.
Yeah, it's important to picture the people, places, and events being described. Good job. Lindsay, can you tell me why it's important to connect?
So that we can think about our real world and what we're reading.
Yeah, good job. And Noelle, why it's important to question?
Maybe to build a better understanding of what you're reading if you're questioning.
Yeah, when you ask questions, perfect, you can get a better understanding. Monica, to clarify, why is that important?
To identify main points.
Yeah, perfect. To investigate, identify main points, and summarize. Good job. And last one, evaluate. Lindsay, can you tell me why that's important?
So we can see if we liked the book and the characters.
Yeah. So when we're about to watch and listen to a Magic School Bus about some animals and their habitats, and I'm going to play it on my screen. Monica, I'm going to shoot you a separate link. You know what to do and how to put your subtitles on. And Lindsay, if you could go ahead and put your headphones on, that would be perfect. And when you guys are ready, if you guys could just give me a thumbs up, Monica, when you get your link, and Lindsay. Perfect, okay. And I'm gonna pause it a few times to ask a couple questions. So just make sure you guys are following along and using your predicting reading strategies, all 6 of your strategies while you're listening.
The Magic School Bus.
Scholastic's The Magic School Bus Hops Home, a book about animal habitats.
And can everyone give me a thumbs up that they can hear it and see it? Perfect, okay.
Miss Frizzle is the strangest teacher in our school, and it's not just because she wears such weird clothes. Last week, we were learning about animal homes. Everything was normal until Wanda brought out her best friend, Bella the bullfrog, to school. Wonderful, said Miss Frizzle. What does a bullfrog need in her home or habitat? A safe place to sleep, said Wanda. Water, said Ralphie. Food, said Dorothy Ann. Fresh air, said Arnold as he opened the window. No, Bella, you may not eat my fruit fly.
So Noelle, can you tell me one of the important things that they said that they need in their habitat?
Food.
Yeah. Lindsay, can you tell me another one?
Water.
And Monica?
Place to sleep.
Yeah, awesome job. Okay, we're gonna continue. Just keep that in mind when listening to the rest of the story.
Nice. Garum, Bella. While we were making a habitat for Bella, she hopped out the window. Bella, wailed Wanda. Arnold, you let her get away. Miss Frizzle, may Arnold and I go look for Bella? A funny gleam came into Miss Frizzle's eyes. Good idea, Wanda, she said. Uh-oh, I know that look in her eyes. Let's all look for Bella. Class, it's time for a field trip, said the Frizz as she marched us out the door. I knew it, groaned Arnold. Another one of Miss Frizzle's crazy field trips. But he climbed onto the old school bus with the rest of us. Of course, Miss Frizzle said as we started off, the best way to find a frog is to be a frog. Suddenly, we were spinning and getting smaller. The old school bus hopped away like a bullfrog. We never changed into a frog at my old school. Hang on. Wow, that fly is huge. No, we're tiny. We shrank. We hopped through the woods toward a fast-running creek. I'm not feeling too well, Ralphie moaned as we took a bad bounce. Could we stop, please? What do you think, class? Asked Miss Frizzle. Should we start looking for Bella here? This looks like a good frog habitat to me, Wanda said. Lots of insects to eat, plenty of running water. Let's look.
So what were the things that Miss Frizzle said that made the frog's habitat? What were some of the things that made his habitat, Noelle?
There's a lot of insects to eat and plenty of running water.
Good job. Okay, just keep that in mind. We're going to continue.
Miss Frizzle stopped the bus. Everybody out, she said. Bella, where are you, Bella? We all looked around. Bella must be here, Wanda said as she ran toward the stream. Bella, she called. Wanda didn't see Arnold, who was looking at some rocks. She tripped and gasploosh! They both landed in the cold, fast-running water. Help! Yelled Arnold as he and Wanda were swept downstream. Oh no, here comes a waterfall, cried Wanda. Just then, Miss Frizzle and the school bus calmly swam by. They scooped Wanda and Arnold into a big net. The bus dropped Wanda and Arnold gently onto dry land. Phew, said Wanda. The water in that stream is too fast, even for a frog. Ralphie shook his head. If Bella laid eggs in that water, they'd be 2 miles downstream before you could say ribbit. Excellent, said Miss Frizzle. Bullfrogs need to lay their eggs in quiet water. But where? Then something flew by that caught her eye. Watch the birdie, class. It's a great blue heron, said Miss Frizzle. Follow that bird. A great blue heron? Heron? Said Arnold. Why are we following a great blue heron? The Frizz did not hear him. She was already marching off. We hiked and hiked. Finally, we arrived at a big pond. Just as I thought, said Miss Frizzle. A beaver pond. Wow, said Arnold. The water is nice and quiet here. Beavers are rodents, like mice and squirrels. Carlos knew all about beavers. He had just read a book about them. He said, beavers need a quiet pond to live in, so they make their own habitat. They build a dam across a stream. Slowly, the place fills up like a bathtub. It turns into a pond. Plants grow, bugs come to live in and eat the plants, and the bugs are food for other hungry animals.
So can somebody tell me, how about Lindsay, can you tell me something that beavers need in their habitat?
Beavers need ponds.
Yeah, they need a quiet pond to live in. That's something that they need in their habitat.
Like Bella, Wanda yelled. There she is. She has everything she needs in her habitat, Arnold said. Plenty of space, lots of insects to eat, quiet water to lay her eggs in, and lots of fresh air too. And a great blue heron about to eat her, gasped Wanda. Hold on, Bella, I'll save you. And before anyone could stop her, Wanda waded into the water. Wait, Wanda! Oh no! Wanda splashed toward the middle of the pond. She reached Bella's lily pad at the same time as the heron. Hop, plunk! Bella disappeared into the water. Help! Yelped Wanda as the heron's beak poked towards her. We saw the heron fly away. For a moment, we could not see Wanda. Then we heard a squishing sound, and we saw Wanda coming out of the pond. Are you all right? Arnold asked. All right? I was almost the heron's lunch, Wanda sputtered. But where's Bella? Wow, that was a close one, Wanda. When Wanda saw Bella sitting on her lily pad, just as if nothing had happened. Bella! Bella! Wanda exclaimed happily. You're all right. You'd better come home with me. You can't stay here where a heron might eat you. Not necessarily, Wanda, said Miss Frizzle. A heron might eat Bella, if it could catch her. I wouldn't mind hiding from the heron myself. Oh, said Wanda, you mean Bella has places where she can hide from the heron? I guess they are part of her habitat too. But at least back at school, she'd be safe.
Monica, can you tell me something that Bella has from her habitat? What's something that her habitat provides for her?
Bella can hide and stay safe in her habitat.
Yeah, from the heron. Good job.
What about... Wanda was interrupted by a strange noise. Garump, Herman. Herman, Garump. Bella, Bella. Bella had a friend. Herman, he croaked. Oh no, said Arnold. We'll never get 2 frogs back to school. Wanda looked at Bella and her friend. You're right, Arnold, Wanda said, as she waded out to Bella's lily pad. Bella, Wanda said, you have everything you need right here. Quiet water, hiding places, food, space, and your new friend. I'm going to leave you here in the habitat you found. Bella, croaked Bella. Wanda walked back to us. We all climbed onto the school bus. As we hopped away, Wanda waved. Goodbye, Bella, she cried. Bella will be very happy with all those flies to eat. You mean she'll be very happy, Bella. Great trip. When we got back to school, we put away Bella's things. Arnold was glad to be back. Ah, he said, my desk, the roof over my head, my lunch and my milk. It feels good to be back in my own habitat. Wanda did not look so happy. You miss Bella, don't you? Said Arnold. Wanda nodded. Then we brought out something we had made for her. It was the world's biggest toy bullfrog. Surprise! We yelled. Tim pressed the button. Garump, croaked the frog. Wanda smiled. Garump, Garump. Listen. Thank you, said Wanda, giving the frog a big hug. I love it. It doesn't need water, food, or fresh air, said Miss Frizzle. And it won't jump out the window, said Arnold. It doesn't even eat fruit flies. The end.
Did you guys enjoy the reading? Did you use all your strategies? Good. I'm very glad to hear that. Okay. Let me head back to our PowerPoint. Okay. So now we're going to do this little comprehension check about the book that we just read. So this book, we learned all about Bella and her habitat and what makes a habitat. So in the private message in the chat, if you guys could write 3 things that all habitats provide for me, that would be awesome. Good job, guys. A few more. Okay, awesome job. So I've seen all of you guys have said that food, water, and a place to sleep, a place to hide. These are all really good examples and things to keep in mind when you're talking about habitat. So now you're going to do another activity with Miss Jade right now, and you're going to keep learning about more habitats and some different habitats. So Jade, you can take it away.
Alrighty. So here on the screen, we can see a bunch of different animals, and in the story we learned about what a habitat is and some of the different animals that make up different habitats. So as you see, we're going to use the cards on the screen with all the different names on it, and in groups you're going to group these animals by things that they have in common or things that they have that are similar. So you can make as many groups as you want, and you can put the same animal in more than one category. All of these animals live in habitats, so I challenge your group to find some similarities in the habitats of the animals to make in your groups. You can use, so you're going to go to a slide and look up the different animals and learn more about them if you need help. So first, I'll show you what this would look like. So I see the turtle and the clownfish, and I know that both of these animals live in seawater and they need water to live. Water, agua. So now we're going to do some as a group together. So if we were to look at these two animals, a polar bear and a penguin, what habitat do we think that these two animals live in? Noelle?
Somewhere that's really cold.
Yeah, somewhere that's really cold. So maybe like Antarctica or something. So they would live in the Arctic. Alrighty, so now you're each going to be put in a group. So Monica, you'll be in one group, Noelle, you'll be in another, and Lindsay, you'll be in a different group as well. And you're each going to go to the Google Doc, which I just put in the chat. So I want you to click on that links and put a thumbs up when you get there. Alrighty, so everyone is there. And now, Monica, I want you to go to slide 8, Lindsay, slide 10, and Noelle, slide 12. Okay, and you're going to copy and paste the animals or drag them to your slide and create habitats that you think that each of these animals would fit in. If you need any help, please just raise your hand or use the reaction and I can come help you out. So we're going to be looking at all the different animals and grouping them off of which habitats we think they all live in. Alrighty, so Monica, it looks like you needed some help. So if we're looking at animals that live in the sea, so their habitat where they live would be the sea or the ocean. So which animals, if we look at slide 7 where we can see all of them, which animals do we think live in the water?
The shark.
A shark does live in the water. So what you can do is take that picture and put it onto your slide. And do we know where you would put it on your slide? So it looks like you already have the 3 habitats. So yes, on the sea column. Alrighty, and if we go back, which other animal also lives in agua?
The fish. Fish.
Yeah. Okay, so you're gonna take the clownfish and move him right under the shark. So do you kind of understand how we're doing this now? Awesome. Okay, Lindsay, I see that you have a lot of animals on your slide. Nice. I'm liking the way that you're grouping these together. I can see some of the connections you're making. Let's look at Noelle's. Awesome. So is there any other animals that would go with the Arctic wolf? Or should he be alone?
I was thinking maybe the snow leopard.
Yeah, and why do we think that the snow leopard should go with the wolf?
Because the snow leopard looks like it lives in the cold and snow.
Yeah, so they both live in the snow together. Awesome. So I'll give you guys a few more minutes to finish up and then we can go over which habitats you group together. So Monica, which animals do we think live in the snow or in the Arctic?
Animals that live in the cold,
Yes, animals that live in the cold.
like a penguin.
A penguin does live in the cold, so where should we put that on your slide?
El Artico.
Correct, awesome. Now, who should go with our penguin friend? Who lives in the cold with them?
The bear.
The bear, yeah, the polar bear, the white bear. Awesome. So it looks like we all have formed at least 3 groups for our habitats. So why don't we go over and look at what everyone's habitat put? So let's see, Monica, do you want to go first and explain your thinking for the groups you made? So let's focus on the sea group, the ocean group. Why did you group these animals together?
All these animals in the picture, they're in the water.
Awesome. So that's why you grouped them together because they all live in the water?
Yeah.
That is their habitat. Nice. Now let's move down to Lindsay. Lindsay, can you explain why you grouped these animals the way you did?
I put all of the fish animals together because they all live in the water.
Okay.
And I put the snow animals that live in the snow together.
Okay, awesome. And Noelle, could you explain the groups you made?
Yes, I did a water group, so the animals that all survive in a seawater habitat. I did a safari group, And then I did an Arctic group, which is really cold and snowy habitats. And then I created my own habitat. I
Okay.
put the desert and I put some animals that would go into that category. And I said snakes, lizards, camels, kangaroos, because they're all in really hot and dry habitats.
Okay, and could you tell me what a habitat provides for our animals?
It provides food, it provides the right climate, shelter, air.
Yeah, those are all things that a habitat provides for all the animals, not just one group. Alrighty, so you guys did an awesome job today. If I could just have you in the chat write down one thing you learned today, and I would like you to use one of the sentence frames. So I want you to put, today I learned that a habitat has, or you could put, in class today I learned, and write what you learned. And we're going to be writing that in the chat. All right, so Lindsay put, today I learned that a habitat has animals and food. That is correct, that a habitat does provide food for their animals. Oh, Noelle learned that each animal lives in a habitat. That is correct also. Every animal and person has a habitat that they live in. And Monica learned about animals that live in the same habitat, which is how we grouped our animals today in this sort. So you all did an awesome job today, and I thank you so much for your participation. And me and Miss W will see you next class, which is tomorrow. Thank you so much for your guys' participation. Have a great day. Bye.